What's up, peeps out there in TV land? Did you miss us? Well, we missed you guys for sure. We was watching a little football, got caught up in that, and you know how it is. Now we get 2 weeks off before the big game, so we're back and happy to be back. The weather here in Texas is good, for what I understand out there, Michael. It's
Man, hey, right.
crazy.
Hey, the wind is crazy out here. It's like in San Diego, man. It's flooding out there, and
Yeah, man, I
here
saw
it's
that.
been raining. It's bad. It eased up for a minute, but now it's back, man. We're
Yeah,
gonna have some bad weather for the next few days too. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's here it's nice. Today it was 68, 69. It was a little felt a little cooler than normal, 68, 69, but because of the wind it's blowing out here too. But the rain was only here for us for a couple of days, and you know, now we can at least move around out there. But I see you guys are floating, man. It's
oh,
crazy.
yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad, man. I put
Yeah,
my trash cans out, man. The wind blew them over.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's that strong. It's usually not that
yeah.
bad, but for this time of year. So what's
Right.
been going on, man? With you?
Wow, man, but life has been good, you know, just trying to keep doing what I'm doing out there. You know, everybody's coming back to life due to the new year and trying to get things going. You know, got a pretty good crowd following me with that. And but really, you know, it's kind of what we do. You know, we just want to keep sharing and teaching with people in general, even the ones we meet up close and personal, and also here on this podcast. But other than that, my clientele in general is good. The wife is good. Household is good, and I'm eating, so that's a good thing.
Hey, that's a great thing right there.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
that being
So
with that being said, man, like I said, everything's good on my end. We've been talking about, get fitness, get back in New Year and everything. So what are you
yeah,
talking about now? Let's go about talking about how about leveling up our fitness, man.
yeah. It's all about trying to just unlock your full potential, right? We all have a tendency to want to get back in it and get going, but the bottom line is that you got to be willing to say, you know what, I'm going to take this to the next level, and I'm going to do all the things that I know I'm supposed to do, and not make it a trend, and make it, as we both say all the time, a lifestyle. And then look at the big goals and compound effect to let you reach those goals. But you got to believe you can get there before you get there. And that way you got a better chance of staying focused. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. When we talking about that, it's more consistency at first, or
Yeah.
all the time is really consistency. You
Yeah.
got to be dedicated to doing it and making it your lifestyle. But once you get there, so let's say, so now we're in the February. We're in the
Yeah.
February. You've been working out, you staying with it. Now you want to take it just another step. What are some of the things that you recommend that you do?
Well, I just think that it's all about, with technique. You gotta understand that if you do everything the same all the time, then you're just gonna pretty much plateau out. So, it's different types of training. You got your normal weightlifting training, you got your hit training. All those things are mandatory, I think. And of course, always recovery is the biggest thing that we've talked about a lot here. But just believing in your strategy on how you're going to go about doing things is for me. I have a strategy. I know what my next workout's going to be before it happens. I'm not walking into the gym trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I create my own program, and I make sure that I stick to it. And then with the strategy behind it, then you try to figure out, when do I increase my weight? When do I decrease my weight? Just depend on what my body is telling me on that day. Now, of course, some days you're going to have a bad day and you're feeling good, but you still feel like, man, I'm feeling a little tired, a little weak today. But that's where you come into play and go, okay, now you can't ever catch up, but you can figure out how to create a strategy that's going to allow you to move forward on your next workout, so you can stay going in the right direction, leveling up, as we just said.
So when you're
Yeah,
talking about your strategy, Rob, you're talking about your plan of action, right? So some of the
yeah,
people that don't, understand.
yeah.
So your plan of action every time you go in the gym, it's not a hit or miss. You're going with,
Right,
hey, this is what I'm going to do. Here it
yeah,
is. A machine may be taken, but I'm still going to do it this way or that way. I'm not going to just be fly by night and when I go. And that's what
that's
a lot
right.
of we talked about that too. A lot of people do that. They think, oh, if I just start bouncing around to these different machines or whatever, then that's leveling up, and that's not really
Sure.
leveling up at all.
No,
Leveling up is you're taking the next step to make yourself bigger, faster, stronger, have better endurance, maybe changing a few things in your workout, but staying basic, but changing those things. Like you said, it could be adding weight, could be adding reps, it could be different, add more
Yeah.
different, more sets, less sets. It may be a hit where, you want to take it a little bit, you want to get that heart going a little bit more. So, I don't know.
Right.
My
Absolutely.
clients, I kind of, like we had last week, we had one good day. And I went outside one of my clients and I said, "Hey, we're gonna go." It was leg day, so what we did was, man, we had the weighted balls and stuff, man, slam balls. We did slam balls,
Yeah.
we did squats with the weights, we did lunges with the weight, jump squats, and jump lunges, and she jogged and came
Yeah.
back. So got her heart rate up, and and got her body feeling a little bit different too. So it kind of hit her different, and
Yeah.
that's why they say it's a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And just having an idea of where you want to take this workout. Like, you doesn't always have to go in thinking I need to lift heavy and do all these things because I'm trying to build. I mean, you can build just as easily doing a high volume as you can doing a really heavy type of press movements, etc. But I always say the GPS system runs in my head when I'm in the gym. I already know where my body's going to take me, where I'm supposed to go next,
Mhm.
and then that way my method to the madness is just to making sure that I'm not detouring. You start working out and then all of a sudden you go, well, I'm just going to go and try this right now. Now
Right.
your whole strategy, your whole thing is out the window, and now you just kind of freely freelancing the gym and walking around and doing something. So just try to make sure, you guys out there listening to this, just try to make sure that when you walk into the gym, you already know what you're going to do. You're not going to decide when you get there. You've already know that when I'm done, your food intake, how you're going to go about eating it. That's the pre-planning side of things, and that's how you're able to take this training that you've been going through right now for the last month or so. You'll start to plateau out if you don't keep leveling up and doing a couple of different things. So just keep being creative, but yet don't try to create a new exercise. Just
Yeah,
be creative
exactly.
in your whole
Exactly.
training process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I do is when I go in, I have my strategy, my plan of action, and what I do is I survey the gym. So I'm like looking to see what's open and what's in my plan. You know,
Right.
number one may end up being number five, but I'm still gonna do it. And a lot of people, when they have a plan, they come into the gym, say the gym is crowded, and then they get intimidated, especially if you're new, and then all of a sudden they deviate. And that's when you start bouncing around doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Stick to your plan. Just survey the gym and see, hey, number five exercise might be your first movement, you know.
Right.
Then hey, you in between your sets, you look and say, oh, I think that person may be done right when I'm done. So you go to
Right.
the other, it may be number three. But as long as you hit all those things on your strategy, I think that, that's what I usually do. If
Yeah.
it's early morning and there's nobody in there, then, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. But when you start having a gym that's crowded, say you get off work 4 or 5 o'clock, you have more people in there, survey the gym, see what machines is open that's on your list. Go to that first, hit it, and then start looking during your rest period and say, hey, that person may be done when I'm done or whatever, and hit it next. That's something
Yeah.
that I kind of recommend to people too, always, instead of just saying, hey, either canceling the exercise or just doing something else. Because I've seen people come in the gym, they look around and they don't see anything open that they want to do that's on their list, and they go straight to cardio and then they go home.
Yeah, yeah, and that's all fact too, because the gym right now in all most cases is going to be crowded. So, like I said, if you don't have that mentalness about what you're going to do with your progress, then you can easily go on an off kilter, and then just feel as though you wasted your workout. Then you get disappointed, and then when you become disappointed, then you got to talk yourself and going back to the gym the next time, because your first excuse is, oh, it's going to be crowded, I don't have to deal with that. Well, don't allow that to detour you, and just move forward. So just another thing that I want to bring to people's attention too is that don't go into the gym and waste your sets. And what I mean about wasting your sets is that if you don't have any type of regiment training, that you probably don't know what the weight you did last time. So if you do 3 sets of something, say of 20 pounds, and you're able to complete the full reps of 10, if that's your number, don't go back into the gym and do that same weight again, because now you wasted sets. And so, and that's how you gotta once again move to the level. That's what we're talking about, potentially taking yourself to a full potential of your workouts when you go in. And just take those little notes, and at least until you get it in your mind of you can, where you can start to kind of almost remember your workout plans like driving to work. But you just want to make sure you're not copycatting and just doing the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, exactly what Rob is saying. Also, that means when you're in there, mark down your last set. If your last set, like he's saying, say you did 3 sets of 15 and your last set you did 15, you probably could have got 16, 17 in there. Then you had 20 pounds. So next time you go in, you should be looking at your little paper or even on your phone and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start, because I want to get stronger. I want to build that muscle. I'm gonna go with 25s. And you know what? You might, your first 2 sets, you might get that number, but your last set, you might struggle a little bit. That's when you're pushing yourself a little bit instead of just going there, just doing, you see people in there all the time doing 3 sets of 20, boom, 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 they're done. It's easy. They're not putting that pressure on that muscle. They're not, tearing that muscle down, because it's doing the same thing. So what he's saying is, it's very important that, I always did that. I know you did it when we first started. We used to write, man, we used to have our little books. You can go right now and see the little notebooks, one time this, one time 15, 200 pounds, whatever.
Yeah.
And I go back, man, I look at that stuff, man. Even now, like I said, when my last one was this much, but I'm at the point, Rob, we've been doing it for a while. We can remember it, but for people that are new to the game, don't go in thinking that, I can just come back in, I'll figure it out, because no, you're not going to be able to do it that way.
It don't happen that way.
Like you said, it's a strategy and a plan, but you got to write that. You got to write that stuff down so you remember what you're doing, because when you go back the next time, you'll be like, oh man, what was I doing? You might even go lighter weight, instead of doing what you should be doing and pushing it up.
Yeah, it's like the people who enjoy weighing themselves every day. You write that stuff down, and you don't write it down because you can remember what it was. But most of the people who are doing that every day, they just it's a way of keeping it in their mind of where the numbers are. So same when you're lifting, you want to write them down so you know where you are, and you can kind of move forward from that. But with all that training stuff is said, man, it's we have talked about it before, Michael, and it's you guys need to understand how important it is on focusing on your recovery time. Please focus on your recovery time, and that's where stuff happens. Remember, in the gym, you're breaking down muscle tissue. You're not building anything. When you go home, your recovery time, your nutrition plan, and all that stuff is the number one thing that's going to give you the quickest change. It's not about doing a bunch of cardio. It's not about lifting a bunch of weight. It's what you're doing when you leave the gym, and then that will give you that chance to go, you know what? I lost 2 pounds and I don't know how I did it, but it's happening, and that's what you want. You want those surprise weigh-ins, not always looking and go, I need to do more cardio because I only lost 0.5 pounds today.
Right.
Oh my God, I gained 2 pounds overnight. What's going on? So all those things happen. So just try to picture yourself doing exactly what you have to do to get up to go to work. You get up, you study, you get yourself together, you get dressed, you go to the office, you sit down, you already know what tasks you got going on, and you know how your day's going to end. So same with the gym. It's only an hour of your day, so you got a shorter period of time to remember less stuff. So you definitely can go in there with the plan and make it all happen.
That's right. That rest and recovery mode. That's you look at any athlete, any professional athlete, they have a rest and recovery mode. And you're just like anybody else. You're an athlete just like anybody else. So when, just like Rob said, when you get into it, you have to have that recovery mode. You can't just be going and trying to, I got 4 hours of sleep and I'm gonna get right back up. What you're doing is tearing your body down. You're tearing your immune system down. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get you're not going to see any results, because your body's going to start getting fatigued. It's going to start asking for more. And then the next thing you know, if you just start in the game, next thing you know, you're going to say, hey, I'm done. And then you just put it off, because now you're tired even more. You're going to say, I don't have enough time. So you have to figure it out. It's going to be times like that. Now, I'm doing my refereeing again on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So and then I'm still working. So now when I do the refereeing, if I'm reffing 4 games and I'm not coming home till 11 o'clock, I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock to go work
Sure.
out, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And people will look at, well, I didn't see you this morning. Well, yeah, well, you didn't see me this morning because either I'm resting. I gotta let my body recuperate. And the older you get, you have to let your body recuperate and recover. You know, because if you don't, you're just tearing it down. You're gonna be more susceptible to injuries. And then when you get those injuries, we talked about that. It's that much harder to come back. And that's
Yeah.
when you say, "Hey, I'm not gonna do this or do that." So when we refereeing now, I'll sleep in, get my rest. I'll go to work, come back. I'll do my cardio and my lifting at later on, or I'll just take the day off and make it my day off during the week. You know, one of those,
Yeah.
so I can just get my body recovered and get into it. But those are, you know, some of the things we're talking about, you know, that we need to do. And people don't do it on a consistent basis. They think, hey, I can just work out, not rest. Don't work that way.
Right. Yeah, Mike, I've been watching you do some stuff online, and you guys who are out there who haven't seen his stuff, just go to Big Darkness 59 and kind of check out his workouts and stuff like that. I noticed that you've been kind of increasing your weight with your legs. So can you tell them a little bit? I know you had your microphone on one day. Can you just kind of tell them the technique that you're using when you're in the process of either increasing your weight on the leg press or decreasing your weight so you can do different things? If you can just kind of give them some techniques.
So the one thing why I do, people see me to say, "Hey, you always doing legs?" Well, it's become one of my favorite exercises. And what I did the day that I was mic'd up, I just want people to see that, hey, you know, I don't just go in the gym like some people go in the gym and they put the heavy weight on and they get their sets in, do 1 set, 2 sets, and they're done. You know, I start out light because I like to warm up, get my legs right. When I do legs now, I'm doing it for more endurance training. So when I go heavier, so when I start out with like just 10 reps because I'll do single legs and then I'll go double legs. I'll do 2 sets of that. And as I go, I start adding weight. So when you see the heavy weight at the end, that's how many sets I've done. And that's why when I broke it down for people, I said, hey, for me, I can do 10 sets and still be effective. For some other people, it may be 4 to 6 sets, and which is going to be good. So what I try to do is I try to get endurance. I try to get strength. I try to build muscle as well by adding the weight and adding the reps. And at the end, what I do is my last set, no matter how heavy I get, I try to get 20 reps. And on my last set, you saw on that, I didn't get the 20 because it's heavy. But
Right.
I want to have that endurance because what I'm teaching my body, what I've taught my body is I want to be ready in the 4th quarter, you know, my workout.
Right.
So I want to have that endurance. So when I'm at the end of my workout, my goal is to be just as strong as I was at the beginning of my workout. So when people see me the way I do the sets like that, they always say, well, you do a lot of sets and a lot of reps because I'm training more, not like a bodybuilder, but I'm training myself as if I'm an athlete getting ready for something. And that's the difference. And I know when we do bodybuilding, we'll break it down. We may maybe do 4 to 6 sets, maybe 6 at the most, or usually 4 sets. But when I train like that, I'm training young athletes too, so they have endurance, so they'll be able to, you know, jump higher, run faster, and in the 4th quarter they'll be ready to go. So I don't know. Hopefully, I kind of explained it. So
Yeah,
people don't.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did it.
So yeah, absolutely. So, like we was just sharing the different techniques, so like with my technique is all about reaching as many fibers as possible because I'm never going to be lifting a lot of heavyweight. I'm just not a heavyweight lifter. Now, those of you out there who are, don't want to put a lot of weight on your back or you don't want to be pressing a lot of weight, whatever the case may be, that's different ways of getting the same volume, the same type of prep that Michael is talking about that you can do, even though you go, wow, I would like to do that, but I can't. So on the other side of that, Mike and I both are in our 60s. So we're not about how much bigger we can get and all of those things. And so with me, I my thing is when I'm doing any type of leg extensions, mine is all about just full contractional at the top. So it's not like hold and squeeze, it's just squeeze nanosecond, then go back down. Squeeze nanosecond, go back down. I'm always trying to reach 12 to 15 reps when I'm doing leg extensions, because I know, number one, it's going to help me reach some fibers because of volume. And also it's going to help me create a little separation if my diet is good. Remember, nothing happens unless your nutrition is good. So I try to do a lot of extensions. And when it comes to presses and stuff like that, my technique is that most of the time my feet are turned slightly outward because of my knees. I don't want my knees to hurt. And plus I've had one of my right side, my MCL, I'm sorry, redone. So I try to keep a lot of the stress off my knees, and I stay down low. So if you stay down low, the technique is that you're going to hit more quad. When you go up high, you're going to still hit your quads. It's going to be more glute, more hamstrings in that area from the push. So it just depends on what you're looking for, right? So you can always position your feet in different ways so that your technique will allow you to hit the muscles in different angles. And that's how I kind of approach my legs. My hamstrings, I'm completely basic on the hamstrings. I will do seated hamstrings, lying hamstrings, and I will do standing single leg hamstrings. And I always try to implement some type of single movement when I can, no matter what it may be, so that my strong leg don't take over. We all are asymmetrical at some point, and you're going to pull more with one side or the other. And so if you want to stay balanced, just make sure that you're using some single leg movement sometime and all that. But the techniques and the ideas are all same. You just got to realize, do I want to be a heavy lifter? Do I want to be a volume type lifter? Or do I want to combine it, as Michael is doing, kind of climbing pyramid in each time, and that'll allow him to still get the reps in, still allow him to get heavier, to get some muscle, definition stuff going, and then a little bit heavier to just kind of keep that size there. But, it's just how you go about doing it.
Yeah. Exactly. And it implements, and if you notice, I even do sled work at the end when I finish up, because, like I said, it's for endurance and cardio too. Just like you said, I can't tell people how many people I tell leg extensions is probably the most important part for somebody that's starting to age, because, you need to build up those tendons and muscles around the knees for down the road. That's a major exercise. And I tell people that all the time. If you don't do anything but leg extensions, at least, you're working on something for your legs. And a lot of people, you see a lot of people as they get older, even some younger people, they don't like working their legs, man. And your legs is your foundation. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's your foundation.
That's true. And if you go through a rehab, at any point in time you hit a rehab place, that's my background too, but we'll tell you, don't do leg extensions. And the reason why they tell people don't do leg extensions when you're at a rehab phase, because they're afraid you're going to do too much weight and put stress on those tendons right away. But rehab in the world of where we're living, and you guys are out there working out, is that do leg extensions, because it is going to help you strengthen those areas for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I've been doing, man. I've been a little under the weather too, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is out here, man. And everybody's getting it. I don't know. They call it something where you get, I was coughing, and then I'm spitting up phlegm and stuff, and then I got better. I was fine.
And now it's called COVID, bro.
Huh? What you say?
It's called COVID.
Nah, I tested for that. I've been testing for COVID. It ain't COVID. But I've had COVID twice. So I know it's COVID. I'll be like, hey, we'll do this next week.
Yeah.
Nah, man. It's just, I'm like, and the doctor asked me, say, man, is it stopping you from working out? I said, no. He's like, well, if it ain't stopping you from working out, you're all right. It's just something this is out there. And he says, man, hey, it's just lasted for a while, so just deal with it. So, but anyway,
man, I've been having this crazy.
I might be sounding nasally.
I've been having this crazy pain in my leg, and at first I thought it was sciatica, and then I thought, oh, maybe because I'm heavier now, that maybe that my right side is just not liking it. And then I was watching this show today with LL Cool J talking, the BET channel with LL Cool J and his music. And it got into a part where he brought in his wife, and she was talking about the pain that she was having in her leg. Didn't know why it was happening. It'll go and come. and she was describing the stuff that I'm having, and couldn't find out she had bone cancer. Bro, I sit up. I sit up and I got close to the TV. I was like, oh man, I gotta go check. I mean, you just never know, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, you do. I'm gonna tell you why too. I thought I hurt my calf, and I think I might have shared the story before. My calf was hurt, man, because that's when I had my shoulder replaced. So I was just doing legs. So I'm thinking, man, maybe I strained my calf. I'm doing icing it, doing all the wrong things.
Right.
Long story short, man, the pain was a blood clot in my calf. Wow. And I didn't realize it until it went all the way up into my lungs. But that's how it started. You know, I'm thinking I hurt my calf.
I'm going to get checked, bro.
Go get checked, and I'm telling you, go get checked.
Because my leg has been getting numb. Sometimes I'll retain a little like puffiness in it, and then I'll take some Tylenol or ibuprofen, and it goes away. But see, I'm on my feet 10 hours a day.
Right.
I'm on my feet 10 hours a day. So I'm thinking I'm like 30 pounds heavier than I normally would be. I'm 257. And I was like, maybe it's that. But man, when I heard that story and LL was talking about his wife and how it was just, if they wouldn't have got checked, they just wouldn't know what would have happened. And I'm thinking I have those same symptoms, but I've always had what they call it, a monopoly or whatever it is. The word, you guys know what I'm talking about out there. My number 5 and my sacrum is kind of pinched in together. And it used to be that it would inflame and my sciatic nerve would get in it. And then I got the inversion table. We're not being sponsored or selling anything for inversion table, but we got the inversion table, and it kind of adjusted me and gave me that release, right? So I just noticed that this pain is coming back, and it's to the point where I have to like take medicine to make it go away sometimes to go to work. And I'm like, and then I'm at work and my whole leg is completely numb. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So that was a wake up call. It could be that too, but I definitely got to drop some of this weight, and it's in my plan anyways.
Me and you both. We about the same. I'm up there now. I'm out of that 259, 260 range myself right now.
Yeah. So I'm 257, but what I was really happy about is that I'm putting on the weight, but my body fat percentage is 10.5 right now at 257.
I ain't gonna say mine ain't that. Mine's in the teens, but it ain't 10.
Yeah, but here's the deal, man. I don't know with my body fat being low, is that causing me to have this pain? I'm just trying to find all kinds of crazy reasonings. But here you are telling me about a blood clot. You told me about it, but I forgot about it. Maybe that's what it is. Because did your leg go numb? Anybody out there, if you listen to this, just kind of hit us up and tell us what's going on.
My calf was hurting. I'm talking about what hurt, and my leg would go kind of bad. And I'm like, but then after a while, it moved. I guess it moves up. So after like about a week, I don't know how long it's been bothering you, but you need to always go get a check anyway.
Yeah. No, I'm going to, man.
It could be, it could be something major. It could be something minor. It could be something like, because we're getting older, but we'd rather let's check. Let's be safe.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to go make an appointment to get it done. I'm making an appointment next week. Well, coming up tomorrow, I'm going to call my doctor up and see what I can do. But yeah, man, it's what, I shared this with you guys also, is that you see Michael has went through some stuff and it was a surprise attack. So no matter what age you are, but especially when you're in our age group, when you start noticing that the car ain't running right, man, it's time to check your oil on it. And I need to definitely go and check to see what's going on, because it's a painful thing. It's not like I'm going, oh, I get through this here. It's just like I want to go and sit down and not even be with a client. It's hurting me so bad.
If it's like that, you need to go check it out.
Yeah,
go check that out.
So I'm going to definitely do that. But other than that, man, we gonna cut this one. But we came here to we do what we say we're gonna do. We're gonna share stuff that we know from experience. We're gonna share stuff that we read about, and we're going to share our own personal experiences. So you're not sitting there going, well, you guys are healthy and you're doing this and you still going to train. And you still, no, we're dealing with stuff every day, just like
every
you.
day.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure if all of you guys out there working 10-hour days, but Robert Johnson is working 10-hour days, and I'm trying to make it happen. And, you know, we all got ways of making life easier. So just keep your health, keep an eye on your health, I should say, and just make sure that, man, you're good. Because if you try to just wait and see, that was me. I'm holding my hand up. I was wait and see, and I don't want to be wait and see anymore.
No more.
And yeah, I got to go, because this thing is not, it's no fun when you hear stories. And then I'm here with my boy Michael, and he's telling me his story. Right. So I'm like, time for me to go. Yeah. Time for me to go.
We're gonna follow up with you too, Rob. I'm gonna hit you up and make sure you do it.
Yeah. So I am gonna call my primary care, because you know how it is. Since I moved here, I got to get a new primary care person here.
Right.
And I got all my prostate stuff and all that stuff done, people. You know, make sure you do that too, guys out there. Get that done. Yeah. So I got that all taken care of. So I'm good with that until till December. So they give you a year and I go back. And but this leg thing, man, is a wake-up call for me today, because I've been just kind of playing it off, and I heard that story, and then you just gave me a tidbit on yours again.
Man, no more. Yeah. I'm like I said, man, I was thinking it was nothing either, man. The next thing you know, man, I'm sitting in there, they looking at me like, hey, I don't know, bro, if you're gonna make it or not.
Yeah, I got you. So anyways, once again, Mike, you tell them where you're at, man, and then we can move on.
Instagram, Big Darkness 59, House of Darkness. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm at Instagram. The legend Robert Johnson website is robertjohnsontraining.com. Go on there and check me out. But if you guys are listening to all this stuff, man, send us some stuff that you may be going through. Don't forget to subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. And those of you who have and those who are following us, we totally appreciate it. And we're going to keep bringing it to you real. We're going to get a little bit more in depth and more personal stuff, guys, just so you can understand that we're just like everybody else. And who knows, we can hit some topics about just lifestyle in general, home life, things you deal with at home, with your woman, with your man, whomever it may be, kids with your parents, all those things. So we're gonna turn it up a notch, as we told you guys we would in the beginning of the year. We're gonna just leave some of the fitness stuff, but go back and forth. But we're gonna cover a bunch of different topics now. And just, hopefully we can reach someone and kind of give you an opportunity to think about things and not point so many fingers.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
All right, Tim.
All right.
Good one.
All right. Peace out there in TV land. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. Yeah, man.